It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning.
Kevin is the host.
And his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason. Talks like a spaz. And they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the KVJ show.
Yeah.
How the heck is everybody doing here today?
Great.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, it is swampy outside, man. It feels like you stepped in some kind of Jurassic World. It just, man, it's hot and muggy. They got some kind of advisory out today.
It's hot, it's muggy, and there's like some Saharan dust about to blow in and mess with everybody's allergies.
That sounds like a Coke shipment.
So have fun.
That sounds awful. People always wonder why I wear such warm clothing to work, because you're right, it is so hot outside, but it is freezing in this building. So you get hot, you get real cold. Not
It's a
good for
weird
the
place.
Not good for the immune system, I don't think.
No, No, kind of a weird place. So, yeah, there you go. I saw a bird in traffic on the way here. Again, we usually get to this stoplight and I make this illegal turn where you're supposed to turn right and I always go straight.
I always think I'm getting jacked.
Yeah, because I pull right in and all aggressively. You know, I drive aggressive on my way here in the morning.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
I
free.
got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
If you're not in a hurry, you best move from my way.
Yeah, no, same way. Because I do all my work from home. I come here last minute kind of thing. And yeah, so it's light. It's all about the timing. You get the light right. And so I go through there, and then we kind of go through some back streets, you know, so it's kind of nice. And then you just have that big, oh, Lord, not today. I was coming straight. Did you see that car turn down the wrong way and was coming straight at me?
You made an erratic turn. Yeah, I was wondering what happened there.
I was just like, I saw it. I'm like, well, because you know when it's dark in South Florida and everything's a one-way kind of thing, and they got those medians and dividers, and if you don't know where you're going. So sure enough, a car comes pulling straight at me, and I'm like, going, I don't need a head-on today.
No.
I just, not what I need.
What were they doing? Going the wrong way up a one-way?
Yeah,
So-
they started going the wrong way.
that little area that happened at,
Yeah.
a lot of odd stuff goes down there. I have not seen one, but 3 men collapse in that area at different times where police are aiding them.
Yeah.
I have seen car accidents. That's a little Bermuda Triangle area.
Well, I think what it is, it's kind of, it's like a homeless town. Because, yeah, I saw that guy sleeping in the street the one day, and I thought that was probably kind of alarming. So
Not a safe place to nap.
That's a non-related story of the 3 I'm talking about.
it is. It's unrelated. Yeah, I called 911 on that. I'm like, hey, you know, somebody might want to go wake that guy up.
You guys might want to move.
Someone's
It's
in
so
the
dark. It's really dark back there. There's not any street lights really. And so, yeah, sleeping in the street is a bad idea, or driving the wrong way. You know, it's easy to get confused and drive, you know, the wrong way down the street. So it's crazy. And then you got all 3 of us trying to get to work. So it's just, I mean, this time of morning, that whole place is chaotic.
Well, you call 911 about the person sleeping in the street, and then the dispatcher goes, again?
Yeah.
Because it happens.
It is, yeah. Well, I kind of know from the racetrack and all that. I hang around that area, and so I actually kind of know all the cats around there. They just kind of live and where they sleep, and
I know
all
quite
that.
a few of them, too. I don't want to brag either. It sounds like you're bragging. I know where they
Well,
live, too.
They always come and talk to me while I'm getting air in my tire at the racetrack. So I think I've had conversations with all of them. They just sit down and we just talk. And
We actually have a few KVJ fans that are homeless. I'm not even kidding. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be funny or anything. They listen to on a radio.
when our listeners become homeless, they move near the radio station. And I think that's what it is. We're putting together kind of like a KVJ homeless commune.
I've talked to a few that live by the gas station that are listeners of ours.
Yeah, I think we could go bring them donuts or something this
Tell
morning.
them don't nap in the street.
Well, I don't know if it's them napping. Now I feel like I'm butting into their life, and who am I to say anything?
Yeah, I don't know if he's napping. He could have been dead.
Yeah. Exactly, Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I personally thought the guy that I drove by was dead.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. So if anybody needs a donut today, might be those guys. May have to go down there and surprise them. Well, welcome to it. It is the KVJ show, not only on your radio. We are streaming live on the 97.9 WRMF app. That is absolutely free, something that you can get and you can download. And you can also watch us on YouTube. All you have to do is just go to YouTube and search for the KVJ show.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away. Cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in a second in your Dirt of the Day, I will tell you about the crazy death of Elizabeth Hurley's son's father. Crazy stuff here. Drama we'll get into in a second. Before we do that, I love this. Snoop Dogg has a Kobe Bryant tribute. I'm very excited to hear this.
Okay.
There's a little bit of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Okay. All right.
In other news, Joel Schumacher of Batman Forever, he was the director on that movie, and The Lost Boys and St. Elmo's Fire back in the day, passed away at the age of 80. I guess he was battling cancer. And finally here, Stephen Bing, who is the super duper rich guy that Elizabeth Hurley had a kid with. Now that kid is now 18. Damien is his name. Elizabeth Hurley's ex apparently jumped from the 27th floor of the building where he lived, said to be depressed with isolation due to coronavirus. And so, yeah, he jumped from the 27th floor of his building around 1 o'clock yesterday. Ouch, that'll do it. At the time of his death, they say he was estimated to be worth $590 million.
Wow.
So that is crazy. Stephen Bing was his name, and that is what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What do you think about Jay Bird?
You ever read something or find out news, you want to be excited for it, but you kind of don't know if it's worthy to be excited? Did you see that story about Stonehenge?
No.
It said archaeologists have discovered a wide circle of deep shafts surrounding an ancient settlement close to Stonehenge, opening up new lines of investigation into the origins and meanings of the mysterious prehistoric monument. Mm-hmm. Does that do anything for you? They found, I guess, some new things near Stonehenge that has baffled archaeologists, and they're thinking, okay, maybe we got some more information about Stonehenge. Boring, not that sexy. Am I just searching?
Can I vote?
I know your answer.
I don't even have to tell you.
But Stonehenge,
my vote.
Stonehenge,
Yeah.
that doesn't at all fascinate you, why they're there, how they got there?
Oh my gosh. If you took me all that way and the only thing we saw was a bunch of rocks in a circle, I would kick you in the nuts.
But what's weird to me is that they're just now finding new stuff, aren't they? There's not much out there.
Well, we've got new technology, and so there's a lot of stuff because that was so long ago that they're now, what they're doing around there is they're able to see ground penetrating radar and seeing what it is. And they're still trying to construct who were these people, how did the rocks get there, what was it used for, and so all these new details add to that.
Do you think, and I know you obviously don't know, so just play along with me here. Do you think that there's a chance that the Stonehenge has anything to do with aliens?
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
Surely. I mean, you know, it's like the Ancient Alien show that you can watch on Netflix, which I'm sure Virginia watches all the time.
Oh my God.
And there is a lot of prehistoric civilizations that have an understanding of mathematics and the solar system that is advanced for their time. And that's, the premise for the show a lot.
Were they smarter than us, you think, back in the day? From a certain point of view, if they could figure out all that stuff with rocks?
It was more important to them, so they had to be. Like for us, I think we dismiss the sky a lot. I know Virginia does.
We do, and we really shouldn't, because I think there's answers, and we should honor the sky.
But for them, it was of primary concern because it had to do with crops and their own civilization and their existence. So if paying attention to something determines whether you live or die, you pay attention to it.
You bring up a good point. I feel like modern people, we don't look at the sky, the stars for answers.
not life or
Somebody
death for
else
us.
does it for us.
But maybe there is something to that, though. I guess that's why people do follow astrology, because they think there's something to it.
Yeah, if you believe in astrology, but aside from that, it's not a life or death thing for us anymore.
I just wonder if there are answers that we are not just quite tuned into. We're not looking in the right area. We're like you're saying, we're not looking in the sky enough.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound high? All right, I'm not. I swear I'm not.
Yeah, it's a fun game too.
Do I sound high?
I swear I'm
Denny's has to come in here and
Yeah.
tell us if you're high or not.
He's nodding his head. Yes.
All right,
he's high.
I had Stonehenge, Virginia. That's what I have.
Stoneheads.
Yeah, Stonehenge.
What's on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, I wanted to bring this to you guys because I was up till almost midnight last night and I was hot pissed. You know, with our schedule, if any of us are up at midnight, it's a bad thing.
It's bad.
So yesterday, you know, Magnolia has her little friend that lives in the neighborhood, the same little girl that we took down to the Keys with us. She's been hanging out with this girl the whole quarantine. She lives down the street. And it's the little girl's birthday. Yesterday was the little girl's birthday. So, you know, we brought her presents and it's a whole thing. And Magnolia had asked me if she could sleep over at the little girl's house last night, Monday night into Tuesday, because they were having a sleepover and the little girl invited her to come over and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, you can, and you have to make me a promise, though. I mean, I distinctly had the conversation with her in the kitchen. I know exactly where we were standing, what we were wearing. I said, if you go to this sleepover with this little girl for her birthday on Monday night, you cannot leave our neighborhood. You have to stay in our neighborhood. Now, this little girl has a 17-year-old brother that drives.
Oh, okay.
And so Mags is always asking me, hey, can we go to the 7-Eleven? Can you bring us? And if it's nighttime, the answer is no. If it's daytime, the answer is usually yes. I have a thing about I don't want her outside of the neighborhood after dark.
Okay.
So
She's 15.
She's 15, just turned 15. But, I mean, he's a 17-year-old driver. Even if the kid's responsible, it's just a lot could go wrong. I don't like it.
I get it. There's going to be a lot of things, Virginia, that you're going to find the next 3 years that you're not going to like.
So when I was right around like 14 or 15, anybody that I was hanging around that had a car and who was older, in my mom's eyes, they were just evil. Like, you are not allowed, because she saw that as me getting my freedom.
So last night, it's around 5 o'clock, and I check because I had that app on my phone, Life 360. Parents, you should get this app on your phone and make your kids have it on their phone. And it tells you exactly where they are. It tells you how long they've been there. It tells you the rate at which the car they were traveling in traveled. So you can see everything about where they've been and what they've done. So,
gosh, I would have hated that if my mom had that on me. It would have been.
I feel like you would have figured out how to beat it, though.
I probably would have, because I would have had nothing but time to figure out how to.
Well, there is a way to beat it, and that's what's coming. So 5 o'clock, she's in the neighborhood, no problem. Okay, I check it. I'm getting ready for bed. It's about 9:30. I check it, and it says Magnolia's location services have been turned off.
Yeah.
That's how you beat it. You can turn your location services off, therefore disabling Life 360. She had gone to the beach with a group of kids, and the 17-year-old was driving.
At nighttime?
At nighttime. It was, now you're talking about 9:30, I discover this as I'm getting into bed and getting ready to close my eyes. So I start texting her, why are your location services off? What are you doing? And then she finally cracks and admits she's at the beach.
Okay.
Which is a big no-no because we talked about this on Sunday night.
It's also a big no to crack so easily, Mags. I mean, come on. Jeez.
Yeah, there's no spin. There's no nothing.
There's nothing, Mags?
Talking to me is like talking to a cartel leader. If I'm pissed, you're not going to do well.
Well, here's my question, because in my opinion, this is a pretty major infraction.
I agree.
If I was to blatantly disobey my parent, there would have been...
We talked about this on Sunday night, specifically.
But are you going to be all soft? What's the punishment? Because to me...
So last night, she had to come home. First of all, here's the other problem. None of these kids wanted to leave the beach. And so
Of course not. It's awesome.
They're having a great time.
Yeah, and then when you have that one kid that's like, oh, gosh, we got to leave again because of your mom.
They're never going to leave. They'll never leave, and she'll have to leave on her own.
It was literally an hour from 9:30 to 10:30 of me telling her she needs to come home. And she's like, Mom, I'm trying. They don't want to leave. And I said, okay, I'm going to get in the car and come to the park and get you right now to the beach.
Oh, geez.
Gosh, Max, you made so many mistakes.
I said, when I get there, all the kids that you're with are going to know who the hell I am. But I didn't say hell.
What if you did that?
I was going to come on that beach, and they were all going to know who the F I was.
What if you started
gosh.
yelling at one of the kids like, but I love you during the day. You're so awesome, Virginia. They were a huge Virginia fan.
Oh, man.
So all of a sudden, she was like, okay, Mom, okay, I'm getting in a car right now. They're
Well, you
bringing
made
me
the
back.
ultimate threat.
And then, so she came back, and now it is, gosh, like 11. And she's home, and, you know, the sleepover's done because she was supposed to be sleeping at the girls' house. I'm like, no, you're coming home. You're not sleeping at the girls' house. And I said, you're going to be grounded. Mm-hmm. And you're lucky I don't call your dad and tell him what you pulled.
Instead, I'm going to talk about it on the air tomorrow so everybody knows.
Yeah.
They're not up. Yeah, so
So
that's what
how
I'm
did
coming
it-
to you with.
Okay.
She knows she's going to be grounded. She knows that there's going to be some sort of punishments, but
Yeah.
I just wanted your guidance maybe so I don't overreact and handle the. I mean, she blatantly disrespected exactly
It's a big
what
one.
I told
no,
her.
it's a big one. You had ground rules, and you were being cool to let her do something.
Yeah.
During this time where it's not, not everyone's going out and doing stuff.
a sleepover with multiple girls over there.
And then you got this kid driving around.
The kid is 17. Now, the kid is very responsible. I will say that. I know the parents. I talk to the parents.
It's not about that.
The kid is one of those, he's kind of, I would say, errs on the side of always really nervous and paranoid about safety and stuff like that, to the point where sometimes he ruins the fun for the other kids because he's like, no, we have to be super careful. So I don't think that the kid is bad.
No, I don't think he's bad, but he wasn't nervous enough when Max said we got to go because Mom's ordered Mags.
I don't think those kids have to be home till 11. So that's the difference. I think those kids have an 11 o'clock curfew because Mags comes strolling in right before 11.
How awesome. Like you're 15, you have an 11 o'clock curfew, you're on the beach. I would never be allowed to have done that.
Yeah, they drove in a Jeep. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're living the life.
Well, the one thing I think that's tough is as a parent, I think too often we focus on how you enforce things with your kids and how you discipline them. And we don't spend a lot of time on talking about what really are good parameters for your kid. Where should it end? And it is tough. A lot of kids deal with this where other parents, because when you got a friend group and everybody's got different parameters, having a discussion to say, okay, this is what I think is realistic and this is what isn't. I think sometimes we blow too quickly through setting the parameters and what is truly right. Here's what I want a desired behavior out of my kid. Here's going to help to get that desire behavior that I want. So what does that mean in the restrictions that I put in their life? I think sometimes we just breeze through that and say, okay, curfew's at 10 o'clock, and we don't necessarily even as parents know why. We've just set that up. And then here's your kid in a world where other kids have different curfews and different parameters on their life, and it causes a lot of strain because I remember being in those type situations. I always had the tightest curfew, the tightest restrictions, and it just continued to build resentment. And I felt like there was a breakdown in trust between my parents and myself. Kids want to feel like they're trusted. And I always felt like the best thing when my parents finally got parenting me right, they put responsibility on me to say, don't make us have to put these really strict parameters on your life. We're giving you freedom. And so that's the approach that we've had with our kids. And luckily we have, like my kids have never been arrested. I got arrested, I think 3 times in high school. So, but I had the toughest restrictions, but I was pushing back against those barriers because I think my parents set them a little bit too tight. And I could have been with good kids doing good things and just been having innocent fun, but they almost pushed me into a friend group where I'm like going, oh yeah, I'll show you. And it became contentious instead of like a group effort where it's like, hey, look, I want to get you alive through your high school years without a serious arrest record. And let's get through this together. What is realistic? Who are the people you should be with? Who shouldn't you be with? What should you be doing and what shouldn't you be doing? and kind of work with your kids to set what those parameters are and spend more time on setting the restrictions than worrying more about then, okay, how do I punish them so that I change their behavior?
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was trying to express to her last night. It was like, you've broken my trust. I trusted you. I let you do kind of whatever you want within parameters in our general neighborhood. But all of your little friends are here in this neighborhood. And so I've been loosening up with you. And so now what do I do?
Well, maybe are your parameters set correctly? If
I
her
don't
friends
know.
are at a certain level, certain area, and she's with a kid that you say is almost too safe, and she's in the neighborhood or at least not far from it, and they're not out, you know exactly where they are. They're at the beach and things like that.
No, they were at the beach on the ocean, probably about 12 minutes away.
I don't
10
think
minutes away.
I don't think your parameters are off for not having your daughter at a beach at nighttime.
And this is what I had a problem with. Like, she wasn't in control of the situation because she couldn't leave. So she's stuck here regardless of what goes down. She's now at the will of these kids, which are set differently. So she can't control her own situation.
Does she have the Uber app and things like that? Could she call an Uber if she ever was in that situation?
Yeah, but I don't let her Uber unless it's an emergency.
Well, you don't want to be in that. No, you don't want her Ubering from the beach. Now you're
No.
Ubering from the beach and it's at nighttime.
She's not allowed to Uber unless it's an emergency, and she's definitely not allowed to Uber at night.
To defend you, I feel like you do talk with Magnolia. I feel like you do give her freedom, and there have been parameters set. So, do you not punish her? I mean, how does this work? If you blatantly go against the rules and you're being cool about it as a parent, don't you have to punish?
I think you do, but I don't know what is appropriate, so I don't do what Kevin said and totally turn her against me and create a war at home.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's that. I had 2 years where it was just constant war at my house, and I know it was exhausting for my mom. It was tiring for me, and I had all the energy. So it was tough because you're right. You don't want that, and so that's why I think setting the parameters is key. And then you got to say, okay, hey, look, when my parents came at me, and my dad really took this tactic, I'm really disappointed in you. I've defended you, and I've tried to stand up for you, and I'm trying to give you the freedoms that you want. And you kind of did me rotten. You made me look bad to your mom. And man, that happened one time. I did that. And I was like, dang, okay. And it really, I think I grew up a lot in that moment because I'm like, okay, I'm responsible for my life and my own behavior. And I had somebody as an advocate for me, and I did him wrong because he stood up for me and got me the freedoms that I wanted. And then I abused those freedoms. And then after that, I really kind of started to straighten out. That was kind of a turnaround for me. But I was appreciative of, the fact that they trusted me and said, hey, be smart. You're at an age now where you got to start making good decisions for yourself. In 3 years, you're your own adult. You got to figure out these kind of problems for yourself. You need to know who you hang out with, situations that are bad, how to get out of them, when to get out of them.
And you got to have a plan. You can't just go to the beach with no plan at night when you're going to be coming home. All kind of stuff happens on the beach at night with vagrants that hang out down there.
And you are coming from a mom's perspective, and that's the right perspective. But you were 15 once, and her nature is to go out and hang out with the friends at the beach. I totally get that. I mean, that's what you're fighting against. You were 15. It's only going to get worse. She's going to want to be doing more and more and more.
And, here's the approach now. Yeah, she disrespected and deceived you. And so there's two different approaches. You can be the heavy and lock it all down, take things away, be strict. And I'm not saying one way's right or wrong. And then the other way is a way that my parents had tried on me where it was like, you know what? Trust is the most important thing that you have as a person. If nobody can believe you, and I stress this to my kids all the time, and they're not where I want them to be. Because I'm like going, look, if no one can trust you and believe you, your word is all you have. And if I can't trust you, then you're going to have very tight restrictions because you can't be trusted. And, let her know that, hey, you violated trust. You broke that. And so your restrictions are going to get tighter and tighter. So if you want freedom, be honest. Even if you're kind of maybe stepping out of bounds, I'd rather you be honest about stepping a little bit out of bounds because it'll be not as bad for you as if you try to lie
And then,
cover it up.
and then she goes back to her friends, guys, I totally got away with it. Yeah.
Well, she wanted to be on that sleepover last night,
Yeah.
and that got canceled, and she was crying, and it was like dramatic. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, this is like my bedtime.
You're in a tough age.
Yeah, talking about it publicly is probably punishment enough.
Well, I want to do the right thing, and
Sure.
I know sometimes I'm too in it and emotional and mean and bitchy and all that. So I just want to get perspective, so I make thoughtful decisions, not rash,
Yeah.
emotional decisions like I usually do in life.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
I usually get pissed and strike, and then feel bad about it after.
Some of the comments coming in, your parameters were not off, or perimeters. Anything can happen at the beach at night. Mags was wrong. She has to be punished. No friends for a month. She doesn't do it again, somebody says.
I lean more towards punishment than the whole sit down and let's talk about our feelings kind of a thing. That's where I come from. I know I don't have kids. I get it.
And the only reason why I stress out a little bit more is because my mom was harsh. Came down, she'd be like, no friends for whatever, and I'm going to constrict your life, which I felt was already constricted.
That's it, though. You could have a different life than Max.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a different person. That's why you got two parent kids differently. And I went, oh, yeah. And then I'm sneaking out, and people want to know what I got arrested for. I mean, I don't even remember. I got arrested so frequently. I really did. The cops knew me, and it was a small town. And so the cops
Probably
were
curfew.
It was a sport. No, it was vandalism. You know, we would TP houses. We would do different stuff like that.
I did that too. I just never got caught.
Underage drinking.
Wow, you guys are hard.
Yeah, the cops did nothing, but it was a game every Friday night. It's like we hit the streets, and this one cop, Donnie Shaw, he knew I was out. I knew he was out. And it was just this cat and mouse game the entire night of him trying to catch me and me trying to not get caught.
You really did grow up in an 80s movie.
Yeah.
So
Donnie Shaw.
So Kevin definitely different than Mags. And Kevin had a mullet. Mags didn't get no mullet.
Yeah.
So
Mags is a good kid, and that's what Panda was
Right.
trying to remind
She
me
is.
as I was dropping F-bombs and really upset. She's a good kid, and that's true. She is a good kid. But, I mean, I told her you can't go out of the neighborhood on Monday night, and she went to the beach. She knows I don't let her go to the beach at night.
Right. And that's it. I mean, I think there definitely needs to be some kind of punishment because it was well stated, well understood. She completely went against it. And, you know, you could maybe say, hey, let me help you decide how to get yourself out of this situation in the future, because you know it's going to be bad for you if you don't. So if you're faced with this and your friends and they're driving and they're taking you someplace that you can't go, how do you get out of this and how do you make better decisions the next time?
in the Pennington household, this would have probably got a minimum a month restriction.
Ooh.
A month.
A month.
A month. Yeah, to blatantly lie and to turning you're conniving with the turning off of the it's premeditated.
She's claiming she did not turn it off.
I mean, now
Yeah.
She's claiming it was a
Doesn't look good.
a functionality
Yeah.
issue with her phone.
Mags, now you did it all wrong, Mags.
Yeah, doesn't look good. And again, it's just she's just proving that she can't be trusted, and that's the tough part. Because when do you let her out and give her more freedoms? Because she's lying to you, and you know you can say, "Hey, look, you're a kid that can't be trusted."
That's an interesting detail you add on the end there. With
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know the feature turned off.
Yeah, she's like, Mom, I don't even know how to do that. And so I went into the app on Life 360 and figured it out in 15
if
seconds.
you can do
how to
it.
turn off my location
Yeah.
on the app. So it's very easy to do.
Okay, fascinating stuff.
That's what you say when someone texts you and you act like, oh, I didn't get the text. Maybe my phone's been acting up.
Oh, yeah,
I
my
hit
phone reboot.
I was driving to the valley. There's no valleys in Florida.
Reboot, update. You just start throwing words out.
What do you think about this text, Virginia? Somebody said that Virginia overreacts, then she doesn't truly punish. So she blows up in the moment, and then it settles down, and then the punishment is next to nothing, and same thing she does with Rocco. Would you say that's a true statement, yes or no?
Totally.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's like, so you have your...
That's why I'm coming to
Yeah.
you and asking you for help.
Right.
Because I don't want to be that, because I am self-aware and I do know that I do that. And that's not, I think, helping raise a teenager.
And I don't know, maybe that's not how you do it.
I didn't punish her yet. I didn't tell her. I mean, other than taking away the sleepover last night.
Oh, yeah, what a punishment. You have to go home at midnight. It's like, that's not a punishment.
Okay.
It was a punishment to her. She was
I hear ya.
bawling.
I hear ya.
She really wanted to be on this sleepover, and so she was very, very upset.
Mm-hmm. And people would like to let Mags know that she should have just left her phone at her friend's house and she would have never gotten caught.
That's what I didn't want to say it.
But how can you snap from the beach if your phone is at your friend's house?
Mags needs to get a
Somebody
Denny's.
else has got, somebody else has got to take the photos and be like, hey, send this to me.
You got to get a Denny's and have them take the photos, Mags.
That's the one thing. She won't leave her phone. She will not leave her phone behind. She's too tied to it.
Well, she's got to decide what's more important.
Yeah, going forward,
Yeah,
she may
what's
leave
more
the phone.
important?
Mags, the smoking gun is the phone.
Yeah. Come on, girl.
But I text her. And so if she left the phone at home, then she wouldn't be able to respond to my text. And then I would know something was up. I would go over to the little girl's house. It's a 2-minute walk from my house.
You're right. I can see the conundrum.
I would blow that whole thing up.
Okay. Well, tell me, do you think this sounds awesome or is it too much? A double king bed.
Ooh. I think it sounds awesome. When is Sleep Number making one?
It sounds pretty fascinating, and I kind of love the concept of it. I'm like going, okay, is it just too much? Because as it is right now, we already have a king bed, and I love the size that you have with
That's
it.
what we upgraded just recently to the Sleep Number king bed, and it is great.
With the king, do you feel like you have enough room now?
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
love it because one, you have a lot of room. Plus, if you got some people in there and you're watching movies, so often people watch movies. Now you could have like 3-4 people sit on the bed and watch, and you're not all crammed
Yeah.
into one spot.
Me and Rocco and Panda can sit in there, and everybody's got their own space. It's nice.
This new double-size king bed is 144 inches wide. The average king-size mattress is 76 inches.
Oh my gosh.
So it is
It's like a sectional.
It's a legit, almost like 2 king beds. Now, you'd have to have a monstrous room to put this thing in. And you can't opt for a smaller version that's 108 inches wide. But yeah, they're making beds a massive size now. And I wonder if any of this is a reaction to the pandemic and the fact that people are going to be spending more time at home and more time in their beds or working from their bed. And they want to spread things out and have more room.
I can see that. I do a lot of work in bed.
Yeah. It's
now
pretty
is
cozy.
the time to make your home the most comfortable, because you might be in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good bit.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Mags.
They don't look like they're cheap. The one that I see, this one king mattress, $7,000
Ooh,
for one that's pushing it. So
that's a lot.
yeah, but
You're
It's
buying
like a used car.
Yeah, you're buying a used car, and it's the size of one too.
and it depends upon the size of your room. I don't have the biggest house. I don't have the biggest.
Yeah, you have
bedroom.
to knock down some walls to
Yeah.
make that Big Daddy fit.
If you're compromising and you can't walk, you have to shimmy all around the side of your bed.
It's not worth it.
Then I don't think I'd go with it. But if I had a big enough room to put it in, I'd probably have to put it in my living
You
room.
would. You have to put it in your living room.
Sleep in
like
my living room.
I got big nightstands. I feel like I could downsize the nightstands and make at least the 107-inch one work.
Yeah.
Sleep Number, call me.
Well, just to let you know that if you want a double the size of a king bed, they're actually making it now. So you can go and get that.
Double anything. Just think about it. Double burger.
Double cheese.
Yeah, double cheese. Yeah, grilled cheese. I mean, double anything's the best.
It's very infrequent that the word double is not coming with something awesome.
Double money.
I mean, I guess double neck fat would be bad. Yeah.
I hear you. All right. Anything you want to sound off on, you can always call in or text the KVJ Show, 877-979-WRMF. I'll get Camp KVJ here for you again. Gonna be some cool stuff. 4-pack of tickets to Rapids Water Park. One of the cool things to do here in South Florida. And I was talking to Randy, our program director, yesterday, and we're just kind of discussing, okay, well, it's kind of weird right now in radio to try to figure out, okay, what are we going to do that's going to be fun for people? What do you do? She was like, okay, what can we do like right now? I'm like, well, it's kind of weird because a lot of the stuff that we would standardly do as a radio station, we're in such a weird time. And she's like, would people want a new kitchen? Do people want a convertible? And I said, cash is always king and that's always fun. And, we got some stuff planned with that. But it's like, well, what do people want to do? And I was like, to me, what I think is really cool is finding something fun to do. It's a little bit different where you still have peace of mind of not getting the coronavirus and you're not spending a ton of money, because right now people are uneasy about finances. I know my family is. I know a lot of families are a little bit more restricted than what they have been before the pandemic.
Well, everybody took a cut in this room.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. Some more cut than others.
Yeah, we lost a salary in my family.
That's a lot.
It is, yeah. So we're readjusting because of that. But I said, you know what? When we went paddleboarding the other day, gosh, that was so much fun. You're out there and you're in nature, and it's one of the beautiful resources that we do have here in South Florida. And so I'm like, maybe I'm all up in it, but to me, all these different places that offer paddleboarding, kayaking, jet skis, all that kind of fun stuff, do more of that, maybe give away some paddle boards, that kind of stuff.
This just in, 7 snook tested positive for COVID. Just kidding.
Hey, don't kiss or breathe on the fish, then.
Just kidding.
There goes my plans for making out with a snook.
She said, do you think people want to do camping?
I would love to do camping. It's only thing is it is so hot. You are going pretty much into the hottest time of the year.
Well, we were talking glamping. We're talking about getting like a tricked out RV that you could take out.
I would love it. I think it would be so much fun. When are we going?
Yeah.
When?
So would we buy an RV?
You could rent one.
Yeah, not sure. We were just kind of kicking that around because we were just saying, hey, what would be fun? And I'm like, I think just a lot of stuff around here where you can kind of feel like you're getting away. You can do something. You're out in nature.
I think that's great. But I love that kind of stuff, though. I think that would be so awesome.
It really is a great prize, too, for right now, because that's after I went down to the Keys and I actually got out of my house, I realized that that's something that I can do safely. I can navigate that and not be afraid that I'm putting myself at risk. There's ways you can go camping and be super safe.
Some of the funnest times I've ever had is getting a group of my friends going to Jonathan Dickinson State Park and staying there overnight. And we did it. We weren't glamping. We were low budget tents, and it still was fun.
Yeah. So I was like, that'd be some fun stuff. So hopefully we'll have some cool things for you, because I know some people are having to cut out their summer vacations. They're like, we just can't afford to do it, or they just don't want to go to a strange place and they don't want chance checking into a hotel and all that kind of stuff.
We were going to take Rocco to Disney. That's been the plan for like 8 months. He's been talking about going to Disney because one of the little kids at his preschool told him about Disney. Thanks, kid.
Oh, yeah.
So he came to us like 8 months ago and said, I want to go to Disney for my birthday. So that was the plan. I'm like, sorry, kid. We're not going now.
For camping, you can do so many fun things. Start your fire, camp songs, scary stories around the campfire.
Oh, yeah.
S'mores. Do you take walks together?
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Would you rather? Who would you do? All kind of fun games.
With the kids?
Oh, not the kids. No, I'm thinking about adult games.
Who would you do,
sorry,
kids?
my bad.
Okay, kids, let's play F, Marry, Kill.
I don't have kids. I was thinking about my own life. I was being selfish. I apologize. Yeah,
not listening to
okay, who would you play with? That'd be better for the kids. Sorry.
You could do, yeah.
You could play that. Who would you play with? Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse?
Okay.
Or Donald Duck or Daisy Duck?
Play date or not so great?
Play date or not so great?
Who do you like?
All right, all right.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, I think our ideas are starting to fall apart. So let's move on here.
Hopefully Randy's not listening.
Yeah.
We tried.
4-pack of tickets to Rapids Water Park. Danny is on here from Davie. Hello, Danny.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I guess you got a couple of kids that you'd like to entertain. You think would love to go to Rapids Water Park?
Oh, totally. They've been stuck in the house for 4 months, so they would be super excited to go.
And how old are your kids?
10 and 13.
Oh, yeah, that's prime age.
Yeah, that'd be a
They're
good time.
itching to get out.
Very cool.
Yeah, totally.
All right, well, Danny, you enjoy yourself with the kids at Rapids. We got a 4-pack for you, okay?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Love you.
too. 42 water slides and attractions to check out.
You know how we kind of made people growl last week for the lion? Should we
Yeah.
make them sing the jingle part for the rapids for the
Ride the rapids,
Have some fun.
Ride the rapids, everyone.
I don't know.
And if they don't know it, then we get their kid on, be like going, "Hey, your mom just blew it. No tickets, kid." Ha! And then hang up on them.
I think people. I don't
It's a
think.
little intense.
I think people would be mad, but I still think they would listen to that.
All right, man, we'll try it out tomorrow.
People are desperate.
Make sure your parents know the jingle, kids. Thought I'd throw this birthday in for you, Virginia. Jason Mraz.
Oh,
Today is turning 43 years old.
talk about a peaceful, sweet dude.
Big fan of his. Also, got to throw on a birthday here to Janet from her favorite daughter, Afton. So there you go. Thank you very much for that. Want to get a birthday shout out on the KVJ show? You can send us the emails, mail@kvjshow.com.
Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg never had a beef with one another,
Yeah.
but they did have several collaborations.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Yes.
I know, unfortunately, Nate's no longer with us, I believe, correct? Yes.
It's hard to beef with a dead guy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I don't know. I've talked to some of my relatives. They have beefs with dead people.
Let it go.
Let it go.
KVJ in the morning on 97.9 WRMF. Kevin.
Oh, no.
Virginia.
Bavarian's better, dog.
Jason.
I think you're wrong, Virginia.
Listen to the KVJ show anytime you want on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ show podcast. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, if you're a big fan of wildlife, you're going to love this. Dennys Or Animal. We got some animal sounds here for you today. Yeah, baby.
He was feeling the pressure this morning with this one.
He was, huh?
Yeah, his last words is, I hope I didn't let Kevin down.
Oh, well, he never lets me down. How could he let me down? He's always on point. We got Josh on here from Cutler Bay. What's up, Josh?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Are you a big nature enthusiast?
Man, I am, and I'm so nervous right now.
I bet. Yeah, the pressure's on. You know, Denny's has really stepped up his game. Last week, we had somebody only get 1 out of 3 correct.
Dang.
Yeah. So,
Jeez.
I know. It's become very tough.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yes. Yeah, so you got a lot of pride on the line here, Josh. We've got some animal noises. You got to tell us if this is the real animal or if this is Denny's making this noise. We're going to start off here with a rooster looking for a mate in the hen house.
Ooh, sexy.
A rooster looking for a mate in the hen house. Is this Denny's or Animal here? That's mating calls.
Sounds like it found a mate, didn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of anxious hens in there. Listen to all that.
That's a lot of
There's
hands.
a lot. That's why the rooster's so excited here. I mean, listen to that. Yeah. And we had to cut off the audio because what happens next was just too dirty for the radio.
I mean, does it sound like that hen is thoroughly enjoying that whatever?
Getting there. Getting there.
I don't think it started yet. We're not listening to that.
I don't know. It sounded like it
He's
just...
trying to find a mate.
I don't know, man.
Josh, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal?
Man, that one made me sweat, man. Jeez, it's not even
hot.
8 o'clock.
I know. It's hot.
It is hot.
Too hot for radio, maybe.
Oh, wow. I'll say that's Dennis.
Gonna go with Denny's on that? Yes.
Yay!
And it's instantly one of my favorites. That
Yes.
took a lot of... Listen how layered that
It is
that
very
clip
layered.
is.
It's very layered. Yes. Yes. It is.
47 hens.
There you go.
That's a solid 8-minute project right there.
I know.
Just on that clip alone.
I know.
Thank goodness for multi-track recording.
You're right.
Back in the day, you tried to do that on a reel-to-reel. Oh, my God.
That would have taken you 3 hours to do.
Here we have a warthog walking in the woods. A warthog walking in the woods. Is this Denny's or Animal here, Josh? Savage.
Passion.
Savage.
Was that thing in the heat too?
All of our animals are very horny.
Of course. Josh, what do you think? Is that Dennys or Animal?
I was making fun of this game, but I actually don't know. That was hard over the phone, man. I'm gonna take a shot here. I think it's Dennys.
Gonna go with Dennys? You are
Yeah.
correct.
Look at you.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got a hot hand today, Josh. All right, we can't stomp this guy.
right.
All right, let's see here. This is the third clip. Dennys or Animal? We have a wombat defending its territory. A wombat defending its territory. Is this the real wombat or is this our producer Dennys? Wow. That's terrifying, isn't it?
That is horrifying.
That reminds me of that bit you used to do called Hiss, where you would just hide and jump out and hiss at people.
That really wasn't a bid. I just did that in my personal time.
Yeah.
that never made the air.
That was just life. That was just life. What do you think there, Josh? Is that Dennys or Animal?
I don't know. Maybe it was over the phone, but was that Virginia?
Yep.
I like this guy. This guy's got jokes.
It's good. We need it.
We do. There's
like
content.
Featuring kind of thing.
Yes, featuring Virginia.
That was the real thing, man.
That was the real thing.
Nice.
That's how it's done right there.
Yay.
That's how it's done. Josh, congratulations. You are a official nature enthusiast. You went 3 for 3 today. Nice job, my man.
Awesome, man. Thank you, guys.
Okay, buddy. Thanks
Legend
for
in
playing
the
along.
game. We're going to have to put his name on the plaque.
I noticed
Yeah.
Dennys did something different too. He mixed up the order. He usually goes Animal, or it goes Dennys Animal, then the real Animal, then Dennys.
Yeah.
He mixed it up there, trying to trick people up. He's getting really tricky.
Yeah, I actually did that.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
You are getting tricky today.
Yeah. There's tricks all over the place.
Man, I'm just look at me. I'm tricked.
You don't give Dennys the credit that the puppet master is due.
How
Yeah.
dare I?
How
Yes.
dare you?
Kevin, I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all
Sit
right.
down.
Yes. Just to let you know, there's multiple minds trying to make this tricky.
Well, it's working because I'm very tricked out.
Oh, that's so difficult.
Well, sometimes we do things in life that we feel justified in doing, but then sometimes after we reflect on it, we're like, I don't know, was I kind of a jerk in that? There are some tough situations to navigate, and so there's a website you can go to. It's technically called AITA, Am I the A-hole, is kind of what it is. We adapted up a little bit. Some of these, too, that people just emailed to us. I think this was one that we got for an email. Somebody wanted to know if they were the jerk. It says, am I the jerk for refusing to be a reference for my sister? The email said, I love my sister, but she is crazy. She drinks a lot of wine and smokes a lot of weed, and not to mention she is very unorganized and a bit forgetful. She's trying to become a nanny for a person that I know. My sister wants me to be her reference. If I was to put in a good word for my sister, she would most definitely get this job. However, I don't think my sister would be good at this job.
Oh, no.
I love her with all my heart. She's a very kind and sweet person. She is just a full-on mess with her personal life and has no business taking care of a child. I have a call with her potential employer later today, and they're going to ask me about my sister and whether she is qualified or not. I don't know what I should say. I should also tell you that my sister lost the love of her life from a car accident a couple months ago and has been very depressed. She also lost her job because of COVID-19. This would be a huge morale boost for her. It could help her get out of her depression. She really just wants this job so badly. Should I lie and say that my sister should get the job, or should I tell the truth, which is my sister has no business watching a child? Not to mention, I know these people very well. If something goes wrong, it would look bad on me, right?
Yeah.
It would. Okay, so are they the jerk if they tell their sister, sorry, I just don't think that this is a great job for you, and I can't give you this reference?
I think you have to put the kids' safety and well-being in front of any other things first. And if you truly believe that your sister would not do a good job of watching these children and possibly risk their health or safety or both, you have to be honest with this mom that's looking for a nanny.
Now, does the sister think that her sister's going to actually smoke weed and drink in front of the kid, or is she just taking something in her personal life and kind of throwing a whole blanket statement. You smoke weed, you drink, you can never watch a child. Because I think that's different than somebody who parties with adults and then turns it off when they're actually going to watch a child.
Sure, yeah. You can have two different forms of who you are and know when to be on and when to be off. And my question is, now I'm an only child, so I don't know this, but in the show, Better Call Saul, he has a brother that is an esteemed attorney. He's great at the law. And so Better Call Saul, he gets basically, online and gets his law degree. And his brother definitely looks down on him and doesn't think he belongs in the law because he's been a con artist his entire life and a screw off. And his brother's like, you're just bad for the law. People like you shouldn't be lawyers. It's because he's so close to the situation. Does that happen with siblings where you are not fair to your sibling and you judge them in a way that maybe something they did when they were 8, you still are holding on to in your overall judgment that doesn't really necessarily apply to them?
Yeah, that absolutely happens, not only with family, but with friends, but with everybody.
I would ask this person saying this email, could that be the case here? Are you not giving your sister the benefit of the doubt?
Now, if the sister really thinks she's going to light up a joint in front of the kids, I get the point. But if she takes that as an adult, she does that in her adult life, I think you got to throw that off the table.
I think at the very least, if it's your sister, you can have a tough conversation with her and say, I'm sticking my neck out with people that I respect and that respect me currently. And I know here are some things that you do, and so I just need to voice myself on this, that if I give you this recommendation, that, there are some things that I need to make sure that you understand that you've got to be able to do. And let her know that.
It's tricky, too, because, if you do have a sibling thing, you might not be the best judge of what's going on here. Maybe ask other family members for their advice.
Would you give the endorsement?
Right. They know your sister, too. And if you get a little family consensus that, hell no, she shouldn't be a nanny, then there's your answer.
I don't know if you've ever given a recommendation for somebody and they completely let you down. That happened at Denny's. Denny's got a guy a job, and within the first hour, the dude passed out on this boat. He was working on a boat. He got stoned, passed out on the boat, fell asleep on the boat, and the guy came back, and the guy never did any other work. And that was a recommendation, and it made Denny's look terrible.
I have had that, and when people do come, if they ever want a recommendation, I say, look, I'm going to be honest, and I said, if you want to know, here's what I would say about you, because I think that that's only fair. That if somebody is looking for recommendations, somebody's asking me questions, be like, you may want to ask me, because sometimes you may ask somebody to be a recommendation for you, and they may not be a good recommendation for you, because I would never expect anyone to lie for me to get a job, and I wouldn't lie for somebody to get a job.
Except for us, because
the thing about it is, though, because I've had this happen to me and I've been burned severely. If you don't know how that person works, say you're just a friend, you guys have hung out together, you've done stuff together, you've been in this friend group for years, and you think the guy's cool, so you recommend him for a job, and you have no idea of his work ethic and how his employers have viewed him or her.
Yeah.
If you don't know from that perspective, you should not be giving the referral. Because what happened to me is I gave the referral based on the person that I thought this person was, but they had zero competency as far as a worker. And then proceeded to lie and do shady stuff and just be not handling themselves properly. One, they weren't capable because they weren't up to snuff, but I didn't know this person from that capacity. But I also should have looked at their challenges in the workforce, which they always got fired, and they always had a story about how it was, wrongly persecuted and, cutbacks, and nothing was their fault. But I should have been more keen on the worker they were.
It's one of the most awkward things to ask somebody to vouch for you, and it's also really awkward when somebody that you don't really want comes and asks you to vouch for them.
But as soon as you vouch for them, that is your reputation.
It's your word,
and that's why it hurts so bad when my friend did terrible things.
Sure, it'll happen. I can see why she has that. So I wouldn't say that she's necessarily the jerk for doing that. It's your reputation, you're concerned.
If you're honest with everybody, I don't think you can go wrong, and you just have to trust your heart.
Somebody posted up, am I the jerk for stopping community lunch purchases? Says, my husband and I share a joint bank account, and I noticed a charge for $88 worth of sandwiches on my husband's card.
That's a lot of sandwiches.
But hold on now. How long was that for? Is that a week? Is that a daily?
He said he bought lunch for his guys at work. While we can afford it, we are trying to save up for a home renovation, so we have been very frugal in our spending. This is multiple times a week that he is spending $50 to $100 per lunch buying food for everyone. He told me it was his turn to buy lunch and tells me that I don't understand. He said, look, this is customary with my job for the boss to buy lunch for all the guys, and I told him that while it may be customary, it does not have to happen more than once a month. I asked that he stop until the renovations are paid for, and he says, I'm being too controlling. Am I the jerk?
Yes, I think you are. I think you have to trust your man, and he knows how to navigate his work situation. You aren't there. He's the boss. And if he thinks that this is helping him and helping him get better work out of his employees, you got to step back.
He knows the situation better than you do, and she even said in the email that they can afford it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to trust your man to make the right call and not control his work.
And if it was the other way around, I would trust the woman too. You know your situation at work if you're the boss, and if you feel like that's helping with morale and you're getting stuff done,
Yeah.
and it's something that's moving the needle, well, you know the situation better.
This is one post that somebody's asking, am I the jerk? And I was like, of course, I think they are. Tell me if I'm way off base here. It says, am I the jerk for getting a waitress fired from her job because she left me her phone number? This is a 20-year-old guy, went out to dinner with his family, parents in their 50s, right before the lockdown. There was a fairly attractive waitress, looked to be in her 20s, serving us. Afterwards, she left her phone number for me with a smiley face, saying she found me cute. For several reasons, I was quite irritated by this. First and foremost, my parents teased me about this, which made me feel uncomfortable. Secondly, it seems very unprofessional and personal. I am a customer and she is the server. She doesn't know me, and this was a very forward thing to do. Imagine if the genders were reversed. Wouldn't this be inappropriate? I'd ideally just like to have my food without any issues. So after finishing, I asked to speak to the manager and filed a complaint.
Oh my God, I want to fight this guy.
I checked on Facebook for the page of the restaurant, and I saw someone leave a bad review for the place. Lo and behold, it was her. She got fired. My sister said I was a jerk for doing this, but I think I was well within my rights.
Boy, this guy sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't
This
he?
guy sounds like the biggest stick in the mud. I mean, somebody left you their phone number because they thought you were cute. Take it as a compliment.
I mean-
Your parents are ribbing you because you're such a softie and you're showing weakness that you're so upset by someone finding you attractive. You're gross.
I just feel like when you go out into the world, sometimes things are going to happen. You got to roll with it, man.
I mean, the girl thought you were attractive. Let's focus on the positive, you giant ninny.
But does he have a point, though? Because I agree with you when I think you're being such a jerk, you're getting
Yeah.
someone fired. But does he have a
It's a
point?
guy that does this to a girl.
I feel like Twitter, the people on Twitter would be so fired up if a dude left a number for a chick. Oh, can you believe this male?
Can I just eat in peace without being...
no.
Yeah, it would, though.
No.
It would. And I wouldn't agree with that either. I
I'm
think
not
that
Twitter, and neither are you. Think with your brain. If anybody leaves you a phone number and they're complimenting you and saying that they would love to get to know you, if you're not interested, throw the number away when you leave.
Virginia, if this was during the height of the hashtag #MeToo scandal, where everyone was talking about it, you would have 30 phone calls right now.
Well,
If
that
it was-
makes no sense.
If it was, it would. I'm sorry,
But
dog.
it makes no sense. If someone's giving you a compliment, take it as that. And if you're not interested, don't freaking call
Somebody say,
them.
where's the line of compliment and harassment,
You're getting-
Virginia?
That's not harassment.
You're getting mad at me when I agree with you. What I'm trying to say is there are people listening to that right now, especially when everything was in the media about hashtag #MeToo. They would be calling in. If the example was a guy did that to a girl, they would be off with his head. is
I'm
what they're-
telling those people you are irrational and ridiculous. Sit down and take a compliment and don't be so tightly wound.
I agree with
What
you.
is the matter with you?
I agree with
Someone
you.
thinks you're attractive?
Yeah.
That's a compliment. Go about your day.
But people, there are some people like, oh my God, I
Those
can't.
people are idiots.
Well, they're out there.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad I don't know any of them.
Got a couple people that are texting in their thoughts. We'll get to some of those. Somebody said, yes, it is harassment. BS,
Oh
Virginia
my
would be so
God.
different. I agree with Jaybird.
Harassment, really?
I want to get on record. I think whatever sex gets the number, I think you should roll with it. It's not a big deal. But if it was reversed, off with his head.
Okay.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Got to tell you, people fired up about this. Is from the Am I the Jerk website. Somebody posted up about how they went to dinner with their parents. Somebody who was 20 years old, parents in their 50s, and the server gave them their number with a winky face and said, you're cute, and they thought it was unprofessional, and also thought, too, well, what if the genders were reversed? Wouldn't this be a big no-no if a guy server did this to a 20-year-old female and let the manager know, and that server got fired because of it?
I think some people are misconstruing what I said. I was just making the example of if it was reversed and a guy did this, there are some people who would be screaming off with his head, this is harassment.
Yeah.
I, Jason Lee Pennington, don't think this is a big deal. I don't think she should have lost her job.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the crazy people on Twitter.
A lot of the comments seem to think that it is a little unprofessional.
It is. But
oh
well.
Does it warrant having to call over the manager and then you maybe become a jerk because you overextend how far you go with it? Amber is on here from Palm Beach Gardens, and she is a server. What are your thoughts on this, Amber?
I think it's crazy that she got fired. There's no reason for that. I've been a server since I was 18, and there's been multiple times where people have left me their number on the other end. A man has left me a number on their receipt with a little smiley face, call me, you're cute, whatever. And like Virginia said, just toss the paper. Like, am I going to tell this patron that they can't come into my restaurant anymore because they're harassing me by leaving me their phone number? No, it was taken too far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, some servers are also saying, too, one person said, the waitress being fired for this guy was a jerk. I used to be a server, and guys and girls would hold back my tip by saying I needed to give them my phone number. Big, you want a tip, you're going to give me your phone number. Could you imagine that on the other end of it?
Oh, my gosh. That's not cool.
I mean, that's crazy, right?
I think that it just has to be broken down to the bare core of it. And it's a compliment. It's a sweet gesture. Yeah, you're probably not interested a lot of times when that happens. But I've been out with like some girlfriends of mine, and everywhere they go, they get hit on by servers and other patrons. Are you going to get every waiter fired in every restaurant where you go? Like, it's a numbers game. If you're really hot, it's going to happen everywhere you go.
I think there's people who need to lighten up a bit.
Yes.
I do feel like we've become a bit fragile as a society, and that there are things you're gonna go out sometimes. Someone's gonna say something you don't like. It may even be mean to you, but guess what? The world still goes on. And I mean, ultimately, he's not even saying anything mean to you. Yeah. And she's not saying anything mean to him.
We have a thing in our society where the response doesn't match the actions. Like people go nuclear and escalate things so quickly and way above where they need to be. And this is one of those situations.
I get it. You're uncomfortable. You didn't like it. Wah.
There you go.
Wah, you're hot. We don't feel bad for you.
There's bigger problems. I almost swore. I want to swear. I want to yell at half the people in the chat room.
I hear you. We're very fired up about this today. It's crazy. Okay, we'll see. Sometimes these things go great. Sometimes they're complete bombs. We'll find out. Audio charades. Is it going to be a new KVJ game, or is this a one and done?
Oh, man, I'm so excited for this. I hope it's not one and done.
Okay.
Well, the pressure is on. You better perform.
Here's how we're going to play the game. You partner up with somebody. It's going to be myself and Virginia and Jaybird and Dennys. What you do is you give your partner audio clues to a word that makes noise. You have 20 seconds to try to get 5 words correct. That's a perfect score in 20 seconds.
Sir, are you allowed to pass?
You could, yeah.
How many cards are in the deck?
What's your favorite color?
5.
You only have 5.
Yes. You're going to get 5, so you'd be going back to the same.
I like this, Dennis. She's asking questions because she really wants to beat us, so a loss for the witch would be so satisfying. Let's bring them both down. Both of these two have been too high on the hog for too long.
Yap, yap, yap. You just sound like a little yappy dog.
Ain't nothing little about me other than one thing.
Your penis.
Okay, Okay, so Virginia, you're going to do the sound effects. I'm going to guess what those sound effects are. So Dennys will be holding the word up above my head.
Okay.
And I'll set the clock here 20 seconds. So the best we can get is 5. Now, if we get more than Jaybird and Dennys in round 1, then we win. The game's over. But if we have a tie, we go on to an overtime. There can be as many as 3 overtimes in a game.
She is wearing her #1 witch dress. Solid black. All she's missing is the hat and broom.
Solid black with the strongest Spanx known to man.
Okay.
But still look a little fat.
All right, Suits, keep score for us here, just so that we know.
And just for the record, who wrote out these sound effects?
Dennys wrote out the words that I gave him.
Okay. Oh, you came up with them.
Yeah.
And Dennys wrote them out.
Yep.
See, she's trying to make it controversial already. Jenny's wrote them.
Look, I'm just asking all the legal questions.
I get it. I did this at 2:14 p.m. yesterday. I was sitting in my office. I had just had a nice cup of chamomile tea. I was wearing pants. Any other questions you might possibly have?
Do you want to prolong the bit a little bit longer? Or
Shut up, yippy dog.
rough. Never. I'll never shut up. I'll never shut up.
Okay, here we go. Audio charades. Again, Virginia's going to be giving me audio clues to the word. We have 20 seconds to try to get 5 correct. There's only 5 to choose from. And there is possibly only 1 round needed. We'll have as many as 3 total.
All right, Dennys, this is about pacing. Don't be all sticky-fingered over there. When I say pass, you need to pass.
Okay.
I'd wish you luck, but I don't know if I respect the opponent.
20 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, and go.
Pass.
Dolphin.
Galloping.
Horse stampede. Horse running through the woods. Rodeo.
Pass.
Drum roll.
Got it.
A bear. Grizzly bear.
Done.
Lion.
You guys got 2.
Okay.
You got dolphin, and you got. I believe there was another one you'd said.
Horse racing we missed. We got drum roll.
You guys got 2.
Okay.
So I feel like that was the first time we did it. It was probably confusing to listen to. I don't think anyone knows when you get one right.
Yeah. I can't because I can't see the word, so I don't know if I got it right or not.
So I started saying she got that one right towards the end. I was kind of finding my stride too. I think we all have a role to play in this game.
Kevin will probably ding. Now that he's back in it.
Yeah,
I was trying to ding. I was trying to
you'll,
figure it
You'll
out.
get a ding. Now that I'm not a participant.
Okay, all right. That's what you can do. You can be the ding.
You guys got 2.
Okay, got that score.
Do you want to hold them over Dennys?
Yeah, you could hold him over me.
Over his head, like
You
he
want me
did.
to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whew. I think we're gonna beat them. They looked old and tired during that round, Dennys.
Just keep it loose.
When you get horse racing, that's a lot tougher than just horse because you're like, okay, is it a stampede? Is it a rodeo? Like, what is going on here? It's
I know
more
what you're
than-
trying to say. Virginia kind of blew it. I get it. Yeah.
Saying it's a little bit more challenging, you might think. Okay, audio charades here.
Your eyes say it all. Okay, I got you.
Okay, all right.
It seems like more than 5.
So I gave Bird 10, and he could pick whichever 5 he wanted.
Interesting.
Okay.
I separated Kevin's pile. All right, Virginia.
Prolong.
I know, right?
This could have been over with, by the way.
I hear you. Trying to make it as quick as possible.
Good Lord. I just want to lose this, get it over with. I know. Right? I was excited, Kevin.
Enthusiasm gone.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Audio charades. It is Jaybird and Dennys here. Jaybird is going to be giving the sound effects to Dennys. He's got to try to guess the words. You have only 5 words. A perfect score is 5 in 20 seconds. Virginia and I have a 2 on the board. All right, on your mark, get set, and go.
Race car. Race car crashing. Crashing. Car crash.
Pass.
Popcorn.
Oh my gosh, we're going down.
Can't
Sinking.
talk.
Pass, Dennys.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Pass.
Oh, got a 0.
That's so hard.
Oh my gosh, Dennys.
Oh my god.
Dennys, helicopter.
Dennys, what do you?
Helicopter.
That didn't sound anything like a helicopter.
Again, just since we're doing this, but if you use any words, then that point won't count.
I didn't know that.
We're going down.
We're going down. You can't fly a helicopter very well.
All right, so then we work the kinks out. I feel like
That might work better if we pre-record it.
Or just not do it at all?
Oh.
No, I love it.
I love it.
I want to do it again.
If we pre-record it, we can add the dings. We can make it work.
But then you can't watch us. I think part of the excitement's watching your beautiful face, of course, right?
Yeah. You want to do that as a warm-up round and do a legit one?
You know my answer.
Yes, he's very excited.
All right.
Right?
So now we kind of got,
Yes, we got
an
it
idea
now.
how it goes.
When you get one right, I'll let the audience know they got one right.
Yep.
We need all new sound effects, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Five new words.
This one means something.
Okay. You want to keep the same round here, Virginia, or do you want me to give you the sound effects?
Whatever
We
you
can switch it up.
think.
Let's switch it up, see if we do any better.
Okay.
We know what we do when you give them. We got a 2. All right, 20 seconds, 5 words possible. I will give the sound effects. Okay. On your mark, get set, and go. Ding dong.
Doorbell.
Yes, you got it right.
Motorcycle.
Got it right.
Wind.
Got it right.
Jaybird masturbating.
It's not wrong, technically.
Pass.
Pass. Okay. You got 3. You stayed too long on Jaybird masturbating. It was zombie,
She's
but
going for jokes.
Yeah.
We got a time clock on.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was.
Zombie.
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 Yeah.
I was thinking dinosaur.
Her answer wasn't off, but yeah, zombie was the correct.
Okay. All right. 3 spot.
Okay.
It's a little bit better.
That's a pretty good score.
Now that I know what to do, I'll be able to give you the good sound effects, Dennys. Can you
Okay.
get behind him again?
Yeah, y'all don't want to switch partners like we did.
No, I think we're gonna stay with what we did. I think we know what we did wrong.
Okay.
Gotta learn from that mistake. Dennys, I'm gonna go quick.
Again, any word that is said, and another thing I want to throw in there too, you cannot act out the movement.
It's
Okay.
hard.
I know.
It's hard.
I know.
No pantomime.
Yes.
All right. Oh,
This is audio
You noticed
only.
that a little bit on the first round.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right.
Hole in one.
All right, we gotta get 3. Let's do or 4 or what's the score?
We got 3.
We'll be happy with 3.
We'll be happy with a win, Denny.
All right.
Okay, here you
All
go.
right, yeah,
20
yeah.
seconds
Keep
on
it
the
loose.
clock.
I'll keep it loose. You keep it focused on my lips.
All right.
Audio charades. Jaybird is doing the sound effects. Denny's is trying to guess. Your time begins now.
Wave. Crashing in a wave. Farting and falling in the water. Explosion. Pass.
Gong.
Gong.
Yes. Dunk. Whoosh. Dunk. Bounce. Swish.
Dribbling.
Yes.
Bounce is not a sound effect.
He said bounce.
Bounce is not a sound effect. I'm sorry.
The first one we should have had.
What was that?
Whoosh. Flush in a
flushing.
toilet.
Oh.
You got a 1.
Damn it. Denny should have went. I just love that game.
No, it's fine.
Oh, that's going to be fun to play off the air.
Okay, is it a 1 and done or is it coming back?
How badly do the people
We'll
hate
let the
it?
people sound off. 877-979-WRMF. You can let us know what you think of the KVJ show.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah, what?
So many people are mad.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
I just love some of the texts that we were getting in here. Somebody said, my grossest moment, I was laying on the ground holding the baby up in the air and it threw up in my mouth.
Oh, that's rough.
That's tough. Those, by the way, are some of the funniest videos.
There's a lot of them.
If you want to have some fun today, go look those up on YouTube.
It's almost like the baby knows it's being filmed.
The baby's right on point.
Yeah, there's a lot of these stories that are coming in are baby stories. Yes, if you've had a infant in your home, you have a gross story. There is no doubt about it. Let me see here. We got another one you could rate here, too. How gross is this? Your local pizza place has got an 80-pound iguana in the freezer.
What?
Gross or not?
That's health code violation.
Yeah, it is.
That's so gross. Iguanas, they weird me out, man. Just looking at them slither around.
It is odd, yes.
Don't people eat that, though, iguana?
They do, and so this is where, you could have an interesting debate on this, because the looks of the iguanas do weird some people out, but, I mean, what do they call it? The chicken from the trees?
There's people that love iguana.
Yeah.
Ew, I don't know.
It does look grosses
Would
me
you
out.
eat an iguana pizza?
No.
Okay.
Iguana does nothing for me.
I mean, I would try it just because I like to try stuff, but I don't think, like, my brain can get past the fact that it's an iguana.
If you went to a restaurant and they prepared iguana the right way and they had seasonings, you'd probably end up really liking iguana.
Maybe. It would still feel weird to say it, though.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's because you're not used to it.
Maybe if you go to Pizza Mambo on Dixie Highway, you could get yourself some iguana pizza.
They found an iguana in the freezer at Pizza Mambo?
An 80-pound iguana, Virginia. Yeah, they got shut down for the day.
I wonder if somebody tipped them off for that.
No, I think they came in for a regular inspection, and then they opened up one of the lockers that they have, the freezer, those whatever you call those things.
Walk-in cooler or walk-in freezer?
It was the locker.
Okay.
They look kind of like a casket.
Okay.
So you're in the mafia, you have a lot of those.
That's what's going on there when they know health inspection's coming?
You
I
don't
think it
know
was a
they're
surprise,
coming.
yeah.
Oh.
They don't call ahead
No.
and tell you.
By the way, 2 o'clock, make sure you're ready. Have the place clean, hide all the cockroaches, and get your 80-pound iguana out of the freezer.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it's a surprise. That's how they get people. If you knew they were coming, you would just try
Yes.
to clean up a little bit.
But some places would try to clean up and they still wouldn't pass.
Oh yeah, and that's why you don't eat there.
A Pizza Mambo employee said the iguana was given to the owner as a personal gift for later consumption, and it was stored in the separate mini freezer away from the restaurant's food. That was immediately thrown away after the owner was informed about the violation.
That just makes me wonder, like, if I got a buffalo chicken pizza, was it actually buffalo iguana pizza?
Yes,
You
I know.
wonder these things.
Look, it's a fair question.
When I was a little kid, we loved the Ponderosa. It was on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard around here in South Florida.
Yeah.
But the rumor, and I don't know if it was real or not, but the rumor on the street was there was a rat found in the ice cream machine, and that's why they ended up shutting down. And I love that place, and it kind of ruined it for me.
You can find that out. I mean, you could have, because those restaurant inspections, and then if they shut a place down, that's all public record.
I mean, was that real or was that just Lake Park street talk?
I guess, I don't know. What's this? How long do they keep records on a Ponderosa
You're right.
that went out of business 20 years ago?
It's 20, I think, from 30 years ago. But that iguana story reminded me of that.
Well, over 100 drinkers who refused to stay home barricaded themselves in a bar in Liverpool, England on Sunday night. They're in there. They got hammered. They barricaded the place. The police are like, you got to get out. You're breaking the code. It's a violation. So they started throwing beer bottles at the police.
That's not going to end well.
At least 8 of them got arrested eventually from it. But, yeah, they took over and said, we're going to drink if we want to. You remember that Russian nurse who went viral last month after she treated patients in her underwear in a plastic PPE gown?
Yeah, who could
you could
forget?
see through it?
Yeah, who could forget
She
that?
looked good. Now she's got a modeling contract. Yeah.
It worked.
There's a guy in China that almost died after he tried to cure his constipation by shoving a live eel up there.
Sure. Constipated, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what you're
my.
calling it?
That's what he said.
That poor eel. Please tell me it was already passed.
I'd hope so, yeah.
It's not a live eel, was it?
Uh.
Although a live eel, you know what they can do, Virginia?
What?
Burrow.
I think some of them shock you, too.
It was a live eel, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, some people would be into the shock, Virginia.
I mean, that's rough, man.
That
That's a lot to wrap your
That,
brain around.
that eel had no idea its fate. You know, when it was just moments before when it was in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, tough day to be an eel.
That one's going
Right.
to stay with me.
It's like I wasn't ready for this.
I wasn't ready.
I was not
And
ready for this.
For the record, I didn't sign up for this.
No.
I wonder what this guy was going to do. He looked weird, but I didn't think that was going to happen.
I just thought he was going to eat me.
Yeah, right. I wish he would have. It would have been much better where he put me. Well, it's tough to find out 4 years after the fact and you're already married that during your now husband's bachelor party, it was your best friend from childhood who used to be a dancer was the entertainment at his party. And neither one of them mentioned it to you and has now just become a revelation. So how do you feel about it? Already moved on in life, and you're married, got a kid, all that kind of good stuff. Somebody said, I would drop my friend and get a divorce. Secrets don't make friends. You're better than that to keep terrible people around. Now that you know what really is happening, you need to act quickly. My question is just, why didn't this come up? You didn't think it was something that I should have known about? And if you didn't tell me, did something happen that I really should know about?
That's what makes it suspicious,
Yeah.
that no one talked about it and no one was honest. It does make it seem like there's something to be hidden.
Megan has got a comment here from West Palm Beach. What do you want to say, Megan?
I completely agree with you guys. If you've ever been to a strip club, you know what the job entails. Lap dances are a given. You know she was topless. You know she was in her panties. You know she's bumping and grinding on The Bachelor. I just feel like there is something. I mean, it's shady all around. It's just completely shady. It's sketchy. And they both, from them not saying anything, I think it was very clear they both knew it was wrong. And I don't like it. I do not like it.
Do you divorce the friend? Are you never friends with the friend ever again?
I don't know. I don't think I could ever look at her the same again. I don't know if I completely drop her, but we are definitely not as close as we were. I just don't know. I don't think I could ever look at her again. And I'm having some serious long talks with him just to kind of make him uncomfortable so this never happens again.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just, and that's the problem with any of these things when you have a revelation like this that is now 4 years old and you've clearly moved on in your life and you're in a different place. And, maybe you've gone 4 years without any kind of problems whatsoever in your marriage. That's all good. Then that's a weird thing to say, okay, am I going to blow up my marriage because of something that may or may not have happened 4 years ago?
I would really need therapy to work through this because I am hot pissed. At her, at him, I need help to work through this.
You're in charge of throwing the bachelorette party. Your two options for dancers is the Kevin Ralston or Jaybird. Who do you get?
Jaybird.
Really? You go? Oh, he got the body.
But you have the moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
He
Ralston, you're a little stiff.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think Jaybird, what he lacks in body, he makes up for in moves.
In heart, what I lack in ass.
You'll get your money's worth.
You will be going for it, and it'll be awesome and hilarious, and maybe go viral.
Got no booty, but got that big heart.
That's it.
We all got booty when you're bent over.
We got another thought here from Pete and Stewart. Pete, you're saying don't sweat it. Is that right?
Correct. I mean, like, they showed up. They happened to be in the same place, same time. If nothing happened and he hasn't done anything wrong since they've been married, she just needs to not worry about it. It wasn't up to her friend to mention it. It's kind of like patient-client privilege there or whatever. You don't want to be awkward if there's no reason to be.
Okay.
It kind of goes against stripper HIPAA if she was to say something. Stripper, I get it.
They got their own code. Okay. Maybe that exists. I don't know. Well, I always love putting you guys in uncomfortable situations, see how you would talk your way out of it. Now, you can imagine this would be an uncomfortable situation to be questioned with, but I'm going to give you one that's even tougher. Jaybird, you just got caught stealing food off a stranger's plate when they walked away and went to the bathroom, and as they come back, they see you snaking a French fry off of their plate. What do you say? How do you talk your way out of it?
So, sir, I am on a goofy morning show. We do pranks sometimes, and we were just trying to see how far we could do, this prank. We are going to buy you your whole meal, the station, for being a part of this prank. I'm so sorry that I stole your food.
Am I close?
I don't know. That could work. You offer to pay. You say it was a prank gone wrong. I show credentials so it backs it up. I think
You don't have credentials.
We'll just go to Facebook. See, I'm on a radio show. I swear, it's real. I have to show on Facebook that I'm real. You don't give me good marks on that.
I think it's probably the best response you could have. I mean,
Yeah.
how else you do other than just saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I got turned around. I thought this was my plate, my wife's plate. She got up, and I'm so sorry."
You could say confusion.
You could say you're drunk. That's true. I thought all fries. I thought they were.
Probably am drunk.
I thought they were mine.
Okay. Virginia, let me give you one here. Talk your way out of it. You just got caught sneaking into our boss's office and you spit in their coffee cup. just as our boss walked in.
Oh my gosh.
What do you say?
Picture it's a boss from Miami. It's a really
Okay, that makes it easier.
Yes.
Yeah, I did it. What's your problem?
So you don't even deny it. You just own
no.
it.
You gotta talk your way out of
I
it.
did it, and I'll do it again. Suck it.
No,
Not in Miami?
You would never do that. You talk your way out of it.
I'm here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Virginia, what is the meaning of this?
Sorry, I saw something floating. I saw a bug floating in your coffee, and it was like on the side. So I wanted to like lubricate the side, and the only thing I had was saliva, and I was going to get it out and go rinse out this mug for you so you don't have to ingest this bug. I didn't know if you'd see it.
Yeah, you're fired. Terrible excuse. Terrible excuse.
Okay.
God.
Okay, here's mine. Oh my gosh, your coffee smelled so good, and I love coffee. I reached in to smell it because I want to see what kind it might be, and it was so delicious. I started drooling. I apologize. Let me get you a fresh cup and wash this thing out.
You're fired. Terrible excuse. I don't know, man. I don't know. Your excuse is definitely better than Virginia's.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what you got to say for this. Okay. You're in a very large business meeting giving a presentation when you accidentally start playing a very loud and graphic porno movie over the projector. Everybody sees and hears it. Talk your way out of it.
Who's this directed to?
I'll give it to you first, Jay Bird.
It fits him better.
All right. Okay, the porno just went on. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. So, I've got a brother who is in town that was on my computer, and he loves porn. He's got a major porn addiction. He's back up in New Jersey. I apologize. I am embarrassed. Am I close?
Virginia, what do you think? How do you try to talk your way out of this?
I am so sorry. I have a chronic masturbation problem, and I'm sorry.
I'm wondering if it's better just to fall on the sword and go, you know what, guys? I got a hunger, and my hunger is horniness, and I like to watch porn.
I quench it
Just
every
own it.
day.
Yeah, before the meeting, I was feeling a little anxiety, and I spanked it to relax me. My bad. Sue me.
Okay.
I think you owned that one.
It's all pretty good. You think so? That's the right approach? That's the only way out?
I think it is, man. Because it sounds like if I blame it on my brother or you blame it on somebody, oh, someone was using my computer.
Sure.
It sounds like you're lying. It's like that story with the guy with the eel. Oh, I was putting it in my butt because I was constipated.
Yeah.
Right, buddy.
No one believes you.
No one believes you.
Yeah. I think the only way that you could do it, and other than just look like the freak of the office now, because everybody's going to be like, oh, whoa, look at what they're into. I think you just have to maybe try to act like it was intentional.
Like you're trying to
do it.
kid, like joke.
I would be like, now that I got everybody's attention, let's start the whole presentation.
Ralston.
That's how you do it.
That's why they call him the Kevin Ralston.
He's so good.
That is good. You're still getting fired.
The
Yeah,
hair.
that shows terrible judgment.
What, you thought it was a good idea to start off your presentation intentionally with porn? Get out of here.
I know my audience. It's radio.
It's a great excuse, but you're still fired.
Yes. Okay, let me see. Dennys, let's see how he does here. Talk your way out of it. You're smoking the biggest blunt ever, and your mother-in-law walks in and says, what are you doing?
I'd be like, bruh.
You want a hit?
Yeah.
You want to believe how good this is?
Bruh.
You called your mother-in-law bruh?
But there's so much in that bra. Bra means, hey, do you want to hit this thing?
You go
It
either
also
way.
means, what did you expect?
Yeah. I'd be like, come on.
That's all you got to say. I love it. Dennys logic. Well, apparently the pandemic has been good for some people. There are some businesses that have been thriving. For instance, people that have bike shops, that's doing great. Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, we own a pool drafting engineering business, and we have never been this busy ever in our 30 years. Everybody wants a pool.
My buddy he does an antique shop that does old toys and all kinds of just memorabilia stuff. And he said, it's been great. People have been locked in their house. People who can afford it are buying it.
Gotcha.
People who are still working and that
Yeah.
are still kind of confined to their house, they want to go out and do something, but they can't. So they're buying stuff.
Well, a lot of people have really found their homes to be cozy and have done things to make it even more cozy.
That you're right about that.
Yeah, we're in the process of trying to do some stuff, and we're really kind of enjoying it. We used to always be on the go and running around, and I used to feel stressed and tired and kind of enjoying chilling at home for a while.
If you make your place, it doesn't matter how big or small, you can make it cozy to your liking.
Right.
If you can do that, there's a lot of times there's no need to go out.
You're right, absolutely.
Are you guys still doing the stairs? Are you guys going to make it? They're putting stairs up in his place.
Mm-hmm.
Going up into that loft?
Yeah, we're going to put a spiral staircase going up there and taking down the other one that we had before.
Spiral's always fancy. Just think about it on a macaroni level. Spiral macaroni's fancier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
You going wrought iron or wood?
Iron, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, going iron.
I'm a big wrought iron fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cheap, but I actually know an iron guy.
You've never sound more adult/boring than right now.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of
Listen,
wrought
KVJ
iron.
show, they talked about wrought iron today.
Because I wanna change out my banister. I have one of those cheesy wood banisters that's not cute, and I've wanted to change it to wrought iron. So I actually have looked into this extensively.
If I ever go on kind of like just a thing about iron, do me a favor, kick me.
Yeah, they talked about wrought iron, then they started talking about banisters. That's crazy. I'm like, wow, who listens to
This show's terrible.
Yeah, somebody said that the pandemic's been better for us in our house. We built a pool, a fire pit, a tiki hut. That's kind of cool. We've been doing nothing but working on our bank account, which has actually gotten larger, too.
I wonder how much it costs them to make that tiki hut.
Yeah, it's a great question. It depends upon how much you do your own, how much you bring a company in for.
I think you can do it for less than like $4,000, I think. 'Cause I've talked to people that have done it. They come out, it is amazing. They come out and they do it in a matter of like hours.
I feel like a tiki hut in a backyard ups the coziness factor to that backyard so much. I love a tiki hut.
It's on our list, yeah.
A tiki hut and a pond where you can have fish, have moments with the fish.
Yeah, okay. Not on the list, but tiki hut is.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want a pond.
They say that Americans during the coronavirus, too, have said that they now feel more connected to family and friends because of it. And I would totally agree. Our families together, I'd say that we're closer than we've ever been, sharing some great moments that, I've never seen my kids this much, and it's awesome.
No, it's great if you like your family.
Yeah, if you hate your family, it's terrible.
Let's pull the families that don't like each other.
Yeah, some people would text in how the pandemic actually improved their life. Somebody said my job was an hour away, and I'd have to drop my son off beforehand. I worked from 10 to 6. We wouldn't go home until around 8. But since Corona, I've been working from home, and I work in the data industry, and it's pretty cool because I've spent so much time with my son and my husband. My life has actually been really amazing. Somebody else said that I got to work from home since March, and I've seen my son stand up, take his first steps, become more vocal. I've missed so many firsts since he's been at daycare, and I love watching him grow and learn all these new skills.
Aww.
Great suggestions. To the woman who's working at home, it's funny how it took all this to realize how happy her working from home has made her life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying that they do not want to go back. I think it was like 2/3 saying that this is better, and I think that the future workforce is going to have to adapt and give that concession to a lot of workers and finding out that, hey, it does. We would always talk about how a 2-hour commute adds more stress and takes years off your life. It's just there was nothing good about it. People were having to do those.
Well, especially imagine that, and then you have to poop. And you have an hour drive. It's all of those are factors, man.
Well, and what if you're just as productive from home?
Right.
It kind of doesn't make sense. And then you just feel like you work for a dictatorship that doesn't really get the way modern business can be done, and making you happy is not a priority. And then you're like, why am I working for them?
Right.
From what I gather, I'm gathering that the teachers aren't liking working from home. I could be wrong, just with the few teachers that I've spoke with.
I think it's been tough. I think that their workload has increased. I think it's tougher for them to connect with kids. They're probably more frustrated, feeling like they're not making the same kind of impact.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they've been saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did see that almost 60% of Americans think that COVID-19 has changed the way we work for the better, and 1/3 of Americans believe that physical offices are a thing of the past.
It depends on the industry, I think.
It does.
Like data entry, you can do that kind of stuff from your house.
Mm-hmm.
But teaching, I think I can see the difficulties on
Or
that.
baking.
Baking?
Yeah.
You could.
I don't want somebody to mail me a muffin.
I do.
Okay.
Speak for yourself, Ralston.
Scratch that. Baking's fine. Bake
I
in your own home.
need less muffins before I get a muffin top.
Oh gosh, it's been a minute since I've had a muffin. Oh, I want a muffin.
Kevin, you can't bring up muffins. He's totally lost him.
No, I'm here. I just want a muffin.
No, he's in muffin land. You've lost him.
Sounds like a fun place to be.
Muffin land sounds amazing. Can I live there?
50% of parents with young children at home say they were less productive working from home, and that's probably where the difference is. It is nice to see your kids' firsts, but I do know I've been working from home. I did before, and then all this happened, and I have about maybe sometimes 6 more people in my house than I did before. I used to have an oasis of quiet and calm, and the focus was amazing, and you do whatever you want to do, and now it's mass chaos.
The way Kevin has set up his little office area, I'm not even kidding you. When you walk in, you want to lay and start telling him your problems because it's kind of got that setup like, all right, tell me what's on your mind, my
Kevin
friend.
don't have enough time for all your problems.
Oh, no. I don't think he wants to hear my problems. I'm just saying it feels like
There's
that.
not enough hours in the day.
I've done that before.
You can lay on my couch anytime and just talk, though.
I remember that one time
Kevin's like, bye.
during commercial break, I was telling Kevin all this deep stuff, and I was going on 3 minutes. I'm like, he's not really saying anything. And I look over, he had his headphones in the whole time. He was listening to commercials.
That's how bad your problems suck. He'd rather listen to commercials.
Like, I don't think Kevin's listening.
Aww.
Got the After the Show podcast going to be coming up in just a little bit after 10 o'clock here. About 10 minutes from now, going to be live on our Facebook page. You can also watch it on YouTube. We got it up there on the KVJ Show channel. Go make sure you subscribe. Click the little alert button, too, so anytime a new video is up there, you'll get an alert about it. And you can also check it out on our podcast apps. We're all over the place, including the free 97.9 WRMF app you can download. Get all the KVJ audio and video you could ever want and get it absolutely for free.
Free?
Free, Virginia.
Oh, I like free.
Who doesn't like free, right?
In these times, yeah.
Yeah, free content all over the place. All right, Jay Bird, before we get to that podcast, if you would wrap us up here today with your thought.
A great life isn't about big things. It's about the small things that make a big difference. Oh, let it marinate.
Okay.
Let it cook inside you.
C+.
C+.
Not your best work.
People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges.
He's going on. Do 2 C's make an A?
Who are you poaching? He's going down the list.
I'm just going to keep reading mediocre. He's going to mediocrethoughts.com.
Wow.
Do you want to watch the KVJ Show live or on demand? Find us on youtube.com/KVJ Show.